Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. So today is going to be another altered composition notebook tutorial. It'll be a series. It'll probably be 2 or 3. I've just got a few of, and when I say a few, this is just a very few of my altered composition notebooks. Today's is going to be a little bit different though. Let me just show you a couple real quick. So there's this one. This one is a Dollar Tree composition book. I don't like them that much, but if that's all I can get, I'll use them. The pages are very thin, so I had to glue my pages together. But I have tabs here in it, and I use this for like my church notes and stuff. And I've got a few pockets. So there's one. This one is a songbook, and I've got some lace trim, and I've got washi tape on the edges, and then I done the washi tape to kind of go along with the same color scheme. And so I've just got some of the songs that I normally sing in church in here. And again, this one was also a Dollar Tree notebook. The pages were thin. I had to glue them together as well. Moving along to this one. This one is one that I altered. It's more like a budget planner. I done the tabs at the top. And so you can see I've got, and what I done was I printed some stuff out to make for like my calendars and my monthly budget, my debt repayment tracker, my subscription tracker, my savings challenges, that kind of stuff. But so you can see how you can use these for like a budget book or something like that. This one, let me go to this one next. This one is one that I covered. I also done the washi tape on the edge of the paper. This one is a catch-all. I done my monthly calendar using washi tape. And I have used this to just mainly do a lot of, literally this is a brain dump book. And that's what most of them now are. It's just like brain dump. I'd normally use one composition book per month. And so just whatever I need for that month goes in that composition book. This one is one that we done on camera. And this one, when I say brain dump, you guys are going to see, I use this one for like my work notes. And so I'm having to do a lot of statutes and stuff. And so you'll see this is the statutes and rules. And this is how I've basically just, it's a brain dump, which I just saw this and it reminded me. If you have not, I was contacted by Kelly Lee with Root Pursuit, and she wanted to let you guys know that she does 3-day junk journal retreats, and she does them in Wisconsin, Indiana, and Georgia. And she also has a big sale right now going on until the end of November. And I'll leave a link in the description box below, as well as a link to her channel. So make sure you guys go check her out. I just saw my note to myself. Remember, this is my brain dump, and that's what reminded me. She's wonderful. I have purchased from her in the past. I purchased like some vintage piano rolls or something, and I don't even know how she made any money off of them because of the shipping, and she's just great. So I'll leave a link to her channel, as well as a link to the information about the retreat and stuff, the different retreats. All right, back to where we were. This was the last one that we done. We altered this one, and I went a little crazy with this one, but I love it. So we put the pockets. We've done a what do you call this? A writing board. We've got, all kinds of little stuff in here. And it's just, this one is just really, really, really fun. I have to say, right now, I think this one may be my favorite. But, I created a new digital kit. And it should be listed in my Etsy by the time this video posts. And so I will make sure to leave the link below. I got my hands on a bunch of French documents. And when I say a bunch, I was so blessed to get my hands on all of this. And so I've got the scans, I've got the stuff scanned in the way I want it. And so I just started creating some stuff. So this is what I have. And I printed these sheets twice because I want to do an altered composition book using these printables. And I'll tell you the main reason why. So this one is just like some of the different documents. This is like the French invoices here. And then I put, these are like cigar labels, but these are for soap. And then these are the actual soap labels. And I love it. I love the randomness of this kit, but it's all French, postal, you know, all kinds of French stuff like that. So this one is all postcards on that page. This one is like the, these were ad cards. I think it was chocolate that most of those were for. And then this one is some more just like the documents. And then these were also ad cards, but these were the ones that didn't have like the photos in it. And so I printed each of these twice. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maybe. Right now I only have them in the portrait, but that's why I say I'm hoping to have it listed by the time this video posts, because I'm also going to go ahead and do it in landscape. So when you purchase the kit, you'll get the pages in portrait and in landscape. That's the thought process. And so, and then these are not finished because I have to make sure the sizing and all is correct, which that's what we'll do today. But this is the embellishments or ephemera part of it. So I've got some pockets. This is an envelope. Look at this big old envelope there. That's with the soap ads or soap labels. Here's another set of the pockets. This one just has some tags and other little cut aparts. And as you see, this one's not finished because I had this big blank space. I'm thinking these tabs are going to be too big. And so that's one thing about doing the altered composition book right now, is I'm going to be checking the sizes of these. So when you click on the link and go to this kit, you may see that there's some things changed, and that'll be because of, you know, the stuff that I find out today. And then these are 3 file folders. So they have the tab here, in the middle, and on the other side. So I will leave a link to this. I will make sure that I have this kit completed and uploaded in my Etsy before this video goes public, because yeah, I have to. That'll just make me go ahead and get it done. Now let me show you 2 other kits that we will use in today's video. These are I know this one's already in my Etsy, and again, this will be in there by the time this video post, and I'll make sure to link these. So this one is a set of the vintage French invoices. This is set 1 because there's many more sets to come. And so it is a total of 8 of these larger invoices. And let me see what size these measure, because I need to know this for when I list it anyway. So these measure 6 3/4 by about 4 3/4. So you'll get 4 pages with 2 on each one. So you'll get 8 of those invoices. Then I used those same 8 invoices and I done them in this size, which would be about 5 by a little over 3.5, so about 5 by 3.5. So you'll get those same 8 invoices in that size. Then I took it one step further and I done those same 8 invoices in this size. And so these measure about 3.5 by 2.5. So these are the designs that you'll get. So you'll get the 8 designs in the kit, and you'll get them in 3 different sizes. And I'm wanting to use these, and so that's why I was like, you know what, we're going to do a vintage junk journal altered composition book. And then this is the other thing that I want to use is the vintage French ads, and there's like 6 or 7 pages, I'm not sure. And these vary in size. They're normally, they're about 2.5 by 3, but these I just left them as to whatever size they were that I got. So that's 2 pages, 3, so it looks like 5 pages. And I think these will look so cute in a journal. And so that's what we're doing today. Enough of that stuff. I've wasted 10 minutes just telling you guys about all of that. But it's not a waste because, you know, that's what we're going to be doing. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to figure out my cover. So I'm just looking to see what I like best for my cover. I'm kind of liking this. Let's see how that would look. I'm thinking this for the cover. Okay, let's set that one right there, and let's just look at the others. You know, gotta give it, be fair. Okay, so that one's a possibility too. We're not gonna do that one, but I like that one. Oh goodness, I'm liking them all. Okay. I think we're going to go with this one. So this will be our front cover. Now we want to see what we want to do for the inside cover. And what about maybe do something like this for the inside. Let's do that. Let's just do one of the plainer pages for the inside. All right. Let's go ahead and get this going. So what I'm going to do now, I'm using, this is regular 8.5 by 11 cardstock because this is a digital. I printed it out myself. It is printed on an inkjet printer. Now one thing that I've done, because I printed it on the inkjet printer and I don't want my designs to, you know, if they got a little damp or something, you know, in the glue, I didn't want them to bleed. So I sprayed them with this clear sealer, and I just done a very quick spray over it, and that way I don't have to worry. They're not completely waterproof, but pretty much for the most part they are now. So let's go ahead and get, now I've went ahead and I've taped my front and back and my inside, and I took the tape and I went as close to that black line as I possibly could, and that's how I do all of mine. So now let's get this off, and then I will show you guys what I do next. Man, that paint, and okay, y'all, transparency time. I sprayed that paint in here in my craft studio with the doors and windows shut. I just laid something down on my desk so it didn't get all over my desk, and then I sprayed it, and I was like, well, I'm not spraying much. Whew, guys. If I start talking funny, y'all know why. Okay, now the other thing I do, this is Fabri-Tac. I like to take Fabri-Tac and use it in addition to my tape. Now you can use just tape or you can use just glue. It doesn't matter. I'm just telling you guys how I do it, and the reason I use the Fabri-Tac is it has a less water content, so it will be less likely to make my paper wrinkle. And I like to use it in addition to the tape, because what this is going to do, it's going to give me a little bit of wiggle room. If I were to put this down and not have it down the way I want it, this gives me just a little bit of wiggle room, and I like to do this on the covers mainly because the covers are going to get the most wear, and it just makes me feel a little bit better. So I've got that on. Now what I'm going to do, I'm not cutting this. I want to kind of line this up to where I have an even amount at the top and bottom as best as I can, and line it up as close to that black line of the spine. and then just lay it down. And that is looking pretty good. And then we're just going to squeegee it on down. So when you open it, you will see I have a little bit of space here, a little bit here. I have a lot of it here. I'm going to leave it. You know, you can cut it off to where you only have maybe half an inch or an inch or so. I'm just going to leave it because it's not going to hurt anything staying on there. The one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to like miter my corners right here, because when I fold this down, I don't want there to be a huge amount of bulk. So we've got that. Now I'm just going to take and just kind of go ahead and start the folding process. And I'm just going to do that. And where's my actual bone folder? There's no tellings with me because I have like 50 of them and I never can find one. Oh, because I actually put it where it's supposed to be. Isn't that crazy? Who would have thought that? That it was put up where it should go. Alright, so I'm just folding that down. So I always start with the top and bottom, and then I do the side. So we are going to pull this little piece of tape right here. Normally I will put, if it's bigger than this, or if I'm doing like a big journal cover, I'll also put tape on here. I don't see any reason to do that right now. I am going to pull this strip back just ever so slightly because that may go into it. I'm just now going to take my glue and I'm going to glue right here. And now I'm going to put this down and then I can let that go back. Okay. And that's good. Now we're going to do the same thing here, and let me see. I think all of those are okay. So I'm just going to pull my my tape backing off right here. And I'm going to put some glue down. And then I'm just going to fold it over. Okay, now on this one, this flap is a little larger, and I am pretty much out of my glue, my score tape. So I'm just going to take this tape gun here, and I'm just going to run that along the edge like that. Now I am going to pull the backing off of this piece of tape. And then I'm still going to put my glue down. And you'll see I'm getting the glue all over my desk and everywhere else because that's the normal me crafting. Alright, and we've got that covered. And look how cute that front is already looking. Oh my goodness, I'm loving this. We'll do this in a little bit, but let's go ahead and cover our back. So we are going to do the same exact thing. We want to pull off that tape backing. Man, I need to open some windows. Whew. Smell of that paint is strong. And so if I make mistakes, we're going to blame it on the paint. Blame it on the paint fumes. Alright, and so let's go ahead and put our glue down on here. And again, this is not necessary, but I don't know, one of those, I'm a creature of habit too. So if I've been doing something for a while, it's almost impossible to get me to change from doing it. Now make sure that you put this on the correct way. So I'm making sure that I am. Again, I'm just going to line it up as best as I can. And it looks like I have a little bit of white still showing. because my printer did not print borderless for whatever reason. You know what, we can cover that with some lace or something. Alright, and I'm going to, yeah, we're going to have to, because I just jagged it up, blup, 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 if that's a word, I just made it a word. And put it down like that. And we're just going to squeegee that glue all around. There we go. And I like doing it this way so that I don't have the raw edge of the book showing. You don't have to do it like this. If you want to measure and cut and all that, absolutely you can do that. I don't have time to do that, nor do I have the patience to do that. So I just do it like this to where I truly don't really, the only thing I will have to measure for my inside pages, but that's not a big deal. But I just don't like measuring because I never can get it correct. So I just don't like doing it. And I'm not afraid to admit that. So again, I like to do the top and bottom and then the side last. And I checked and kind of make sure that my tape was not going to be under that. And I think we're good here as well. So just pulling that up, putting some glue there. See that little piece trying to come up on me? That's what I was just doing. Okay. And so again, I'm just going to take my tape runner and just do glue, you know, tape my desk down. Got to do that. Pull this up. And now let's put some glue down here. And fold that over. There we go. So we've got it covered, the front and the back. I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm loving this. Now let's see how big we want to cut our inside sheets. So we want to stay off of the spine area just slightly. So I'm going to start measuring here. And we're going to say 7 1/4. I think 7 1/4 should work. Maybe 7 1/8. And 9 1/2. And that should be the same for this, but let's just make sure. Because these 7 1/8 and 9 1/2. These books are not, you know, they're not squared off. You know, you may have some, even though they say they're like 7 1/2 by 9 3/4, you need to measure every single one that you do, even if it's the same exact brand, bought at the same exact time. It doesn't matter. Still measure them because they are always off. I haven't looked to check on this one, but I know the last two that I've done, the cover was actually shorter than the pages. So I'm just grabbing my, making an avalanche in the meantime. I'm getting my big trimmer here. And I think we're just going to go with, let me grab it, just this one right here on the top. We're going to go with this one. And so I said the width needed to be 7, I said 7 1/8, didn't I? So I'm doing 7 1/8, making sure that that's the spot that I want. I think that's good enough. And we said 9 1/4, I believe. I hope that's right. And there's my 9 1/4. Do not get rid of these pieces. We will use them. So now let's do this one. Let me trim this. I see a little bit of white right there. So let's just trim that off. Alright, so now I need 7 1/4. No, 7 1/8. See, y'all got to keep me straight. And then I do need to trim this. I see a little bit of white right there as well. Okay, and then 9 1/4. There we go. So there's that. And we will definitely use these, so make sure you keep those. I am going to round my corners. And I think I am going to ink, since I am doing this more of a vintage junk journal style. I think I want this inked. So we will go ahead and do that. Let me get my inker. Where's my ink? I think I dropped my good ink and I haven't went to find it yet. Alright, we'll just use this little one. It's walnut stain. And we don't have to ink it much, but I do want a little bit of ink on it. Just give it a little bit of definition. So that's all I'm doing. A little more inking around the corners. So there we go. So I think you guys will see this video on Monday. And I am actually filming it. Today is actually Thanksgiving. And we went and ate with my mom and dad, and some of my children were there. Some of them came up from South Florida. So I got to see them and the grandbabies. And then my husband and I, we went to the Amazon bin store that we have here in town. And because they had, Thursdays is dollar days, but they had a sale today, and so it was 70 cents for every item in the bin. Guys, I think I spent $160. That should let y'all know how much stuff I got. It was crazy the amount of stuff I got. Okay, so this will kind of go like this right here. Oh yeah, look at that. That's going to look so good. Alright, so let's go ahead and take our tape off of here. Yeah, so I went first thing this morning to the Amazon bin store, and I think I got 122 items. Because I knew that my mom and my kids and all were at my mom's house, and I was like, you know what, and I'm going to put some tape right here on this, because there's no tape there. Normally I would use that double-sided tape there, but again, I'm pretty much out. Anyway, I went to the bin store first thing this morning when they opened, and I got 122 items. And I told my mom and my children, I was like, I'm bringing the bags out there. I'm not even worrying about it. Y'all can go through it and have fun. And so when we got done eating, that's exactly what they did. I brought the bags in and put them in the living room, and they had a blast going through those bags. All right, so I'm going to bring it off of the edge just a little bit here. I'm going to try and center it top and bottom. And that's going to leave me off of the edge down there. Now I can feel that I've got some tape right there. I have a tape eraser somewhere. But guys, I don't know where it is right this minute. So I'm using my built-in tape eraser, aka my finger. That's the one thing about using the double-sided tape like that. If you happen to get too much, you can use your finger to make it erase. Alright, and so we've got that all down nice. That really looks good. I love it. Now we need to do the same thing to this back page. So again, I'm just pulling the backing off of this tape. And I want to put a strip of tape right through here. And then I'm going to take my glue and just glue it all up. All right. And again, make sure that you have your paper going the correct direction, because I am the world's worst at not doing that. I'm just going to bring it off of the edge a little bit, try to center it up top and bottom, and then set it down. And then use my built-in tape glue eraser to get rid of that piece of tape that is not covered. Gotta love the built-in glue eraser. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I didn't feel like it's sticking my book together. So that's why we do that. Alright, so there's that. Now, let's go ahead and let's kind of do it like we done the Christmas one. So I want to do a pocket in the front. So I'm going to take this first sheet here, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to take this top corner here, and I'm going to fold it to where the top lines up with the red line that you see through from the other side of the page. So it's about 1 inch away from the spine. Then I'm going to take the second page here, I'm going to take the top, and I'm going to fold it to where that top of the page is with that red line there. And so when I open them, they should be right there even with each other, and you can see that they are. Okay, now I'm just going to take, for this, I'm going to grab my Uhu stick, and I am just going to put some right here so that I can just glue that down, just like that. And do the same thing right here. And just glue it down. Okay, so there's that. Now we need to figure out what we want to be our pocket cover. And I'm thinking I want this bright page for my cover. I like that. Okay, so I'm just looking to make sure I don't have any white showing right here. It's okay that it's showing here. That's not a big deal. So I'm just going to, and for this, I'm just going to simply use glue. So I'm going to take my glue, and that was nasty, and I'm going to keep it away from the center spine just a little bit. I'm going to go right as close to that edge as I can, and along that edge. And then glue all in between there. Okay. And then I'm going to try and get that glue off my fingers because I stuck my hand in wet glue. Alright, and it's halfway off. Now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to do about the same thing. I'm going to line it up. I want to leave some hanging over the bottom. I want to stay off of that center spine. And then I want to lay it down, just like that. And if you don't like this showing, we can come back and put some washi tape, which we probably will. Because I'll need to glue that down a little better right there on that edge. Alright, so for this part here, this is fine, the amount there. This I need a little bit off of here, and I need to only have that about maybe 1/2 inch or 1 inch at most. So I am just going to take my scissors, and I am just going to cut down as, you know, as good as evenly as you can, but it's not going to show. So it's fine if you don't get it too even. And it probably won't with me coming at it like this, but it's fine. close enough. And I am going to cut just a little bit off of this. That's just a little bit too much for me. Okay. Now, on this here, one thing that I do on this, because this page does not give me a lot of direction as to where I need to fold it, I do take this little scoring tool and I kind of go right along the edge of the paper, just so that I kind of go ahead and train that cardstock where it needs to fold. Because if I don't do that, I find that I end up folding the paper. So I'm just opening it up for a minute and so that I can get it good there. And then we just need to do on the bottom. Okay, that's good enough. Now you want to kind of take and fold that over, and we're going to be cutting a little bit of this off, and I'll show you what we're going to cut off in just a second. But first I just want to fold it right along the edge of the paper. Oh, that's going to look so good. Okay, let me open the book back up. So when I've folded it, let me grab a pen so that I can write on it and you can see. I'm going to draw my fold line. So this was a fold. I would get a pen that doesn't write. So my fold line here comes out like that. The fold line here comes out. This one comes out like this. And then here it comes like this. So these are the pieces we do not want. But instead of cutting it like that, I'm going to angle it just a little bit, just like I did on the cover. So I'm going to just miter it just ever so slightly. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to just cut that off a little bit. And do the same thing here. And that's just so that we don't have all of that excess bulk when we fold it. Alright, and just like before, I'm going to do the bottom here first. Oh, I do not need to have this turned over on its side. I am making a mess. So I'm going to fold that bottom piece. Come on and stick. It takes a second for it to get tacky, which is normally okay, but not when you're in a hurry. And this, I just kind of go around. It's not like top, side, you know, I just kind of go around the edge of the page, because you are not going to see these folds at all. And what this is going to do, it is going to give our pocket, the edge of it, it's going to give it a finished edge. So when you look at it, you'll see the, you won't see like a raw edge of the paper. You'll see this finished fold here. Alright, so now we just got to wait a second and let that glue get good and tacky. And I think that's got that. Maybe. My Barely Art glue dries quicker, but it has more water in it, and so I don't really want that water content on this. Alright, so when you open it, look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, so now we need to do this side. And so again, we'll need to make sure that we have our page going in the correct direction. So I'm just going to grab my glue, and I'm going to again stay off of this spine area. And I'm going to glue this down. Make sure you get along the edge good. There we go. That looks good enough to me. And again, when you lay it down, you want to leave a little bit at the top and a little bit at the bottom, and then staying off of that spine just ever so slightly. And then again, just smooth that glue on down into the paper. It's looking good. So I want to do the same thing. I want to get a little bit off here. So I'm just going to cut up like that. And then I'm going to cut about right here. There we go. So to make sure, again, that my pages, my paper folds properly, I'm just getting this little score tool and going right along the edge of the actual paper. And I'm doing that at the top and the bottom and the sides, because I want to make sure not to fold my actual paper. Alright, so now what we need to do is just fold our cardstock over. I love how this is looking. Ugh, love it. And then again, we need to do that miter, and I'm not going to worry about marking it, because y'all know where I'm doing it at. Just getting that going. Okay. So now we've got that, and so now we can glue this down. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this little one here first. And then I'm going to do this side here. And just fold it over. I could have used my little tape runner, but I didn't think about it. I don't mind doing the tape on this part because it will not come in contact with any of the other paper, but like to close the pockets or something like that, I would not advise using tape, because the tape never dries, so it'll always be tacky. And if for some reason like the corner of your tag or card or something got down into the tape, then it would stick. But glue, it will dry. So I just know how clumsy and klutzy I can be. So that's why it's better for me to use glue. Even if it takes a minute for it to get good and sticky. It's just better in the long run for me to do it like this. Okay. So now when you open this, look, we have a beautiful pocket. So now the only thing we need to do is close it, and I'm just going to take my glue and I'm going to go right along the bottom and up this side right here. And that's it. That pocket is done. So, okay guys, that's going to be it for today. This part always takes a little bit longer just because you're having to, pick out your papers and that kind of stuff. And because I run my mouth, let's be honest. I run my mouth in the beginning, but that's okay. That's all right. We'll get there in the end. So we've got that, and then we will come back tomorrow and we will put our page dividers in and do some more stuff to it. But I am loving this vintage style altered composition notebook. This one is probably going to end up being my favorite. Let me know what you guys think about this one so far, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video. Bye guys.